This has made the Conservative Party inseparable from the Hindutva ideology, with former Home Secretary Priti Patel expressing admiration for RSS and Modi's vision. But even more alarming is the way in which Hindutva organisations are paying political bribes to buy the loyalty of UK members of Parliament. Meet MP Bob Blackburn. He falsely blamed Muslims, not Hindu extremists, for the recent violence against Muslims in Leicester. Why did Blackburn so willingly turn victim into perpetrator? Well, not only has he received more than £20,000 from Hindu extremist organisations, but also has been lavish with all expense paid trips to India, where he has met with Hindutva leaders and members of the Modi regime. There are now a half-dozen Hindutva organisations that work with the Conservative Party to target Hindus as potential voters in the United Kingdom. They include HSS, the Hindu Council, National Council of Hindu Temples, National Hindu Students Federation, and Sewa International, a charity organisation that was exposed for funneling internationally raised relief funds to those directly responsible for the Gujarat genocide, which left more than 2,000 Muslims dead 20 years ago.
Investigation by Channel 4 News reveals that amongst the beneficiaries of money raised by the aid organisation Sewa International are Hindu extremists behind a campaign of violence in India. More than 1,000 people, mostly Muslims, died in Gujarat this March. We show that money from unsuspecting donors in Britain ended up in the hands of the violent fundamentalists who incited the violence.
Organisations like Sewa International exist for one purpose only: to advance Hindu supremacy in India and throughout the diaspora. And they do this by amplifying animus towards Muslims and other religious minorities, both online and offline. A recent report found that Hindu nationalists are responsible for 55% of all Islamophobic posts on Twitter. This makes India the largest producer of anti-Muslim content and the major source of inspiration for anti-Muslim hate crimes in the Western world. When you combine the Hindutva ideology with this toxic hate, you end up with Muslims being attacked on the streets of UK cities by Hindu nationalist expatriates who sound like this.
I have no tolerance whatsoever for these radical Islam, radical Khalistani Sikhs, or any of these ideologies. Zero tolerance for them. I support the killing of the Muslims and the Sikhs in the Republic of India because they deserve to die.
You see, the violence we witness in Leicester is not an isolated incident, but the start of a new wave of Hindutva terrorism throughout the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and the United States. These attacks will happen more frequently and with more ferocity, and certainly while attacks against Muslims in India continue, and certainly while Hindutva leaders continue their calls for genocide. Hindutva has infiltrated the UK. It's perverting British politics and causing mayhem among British Muslim communities. This is an ideology that must be confronted and stopped.